You're lying next to her. She's asleep. You're staring at the ceiling, wondering how someone who was supposed to be different became a complete stranger. And you have no idea why.
Here's what nobody tells you, bro. There's a third person in your relationship. She doesn't see her, you don't see her, but she's been there from the very first night, whispering in your ear, deciding who you choose, shaping what you want, quietly burning down every real connection you try to build. Jung called her your anima, the woman who lives inside your own psyche. And until you meet her, actually meet her, consciously, she will keep wrecking every relationship you touch. Because here's the hard truth. You're not dating the woman lying next to you.
Let me explain what the anima actually is, because this is where everything starts to click. Every man carries a feminine soul inside his unconscious. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, how tough you think you are. It's not about sexuality. It's about psychic structure. You've got your ego, the part that thinks, acts, moves through the world. That's your masculine consciousness. But buried underneath all of that lives this feminine figure. She holds everything you threw away to become a man. Your emotions, your vulnerability, your capacity to actually feel something, your creativity, your intuition. You killed those parts of yourself because you had to, because the world told you to. And women, you're not off the hook either. You carry the same thing flipped. Inside your psyche lives what Jung called the animus, your inner masculine, the part of you that craves direction, purpose, decisiveness, real strength. He was shaped by your father, by every man who saved you, or failed you, or disappeared on you. And just like men project their anima onto women, you project your animus onto every man you meet. That spark you felt the first time you saw him, that electricity.
So here's the pattern that destroys everything.
Two people meet.
His anima lands on her face. Her animus lands on his. Both of them are looking at ghosts dressed in skin. He sees the woman who will finally complete him, heal the wound, make him whole. She sees the man who will save her, protect her, give her life a shape it didn't have before. Neither one sees the actual human being standing in front of them. And for a while, the hallucination works. The chemistry feels insane. The connection feels like it was written somewhere before you were born. It's not real, bro. And then the crash comes. It always comes. Somewhere between 18 months and 3 years, your brain stops flooding with dopamine. The neurochemistry normalizes. The projection starts cracking at the edges. And for the first time since you met her, you actually see the real person. She's not the goddess. She's not your healer. She's not the mysterious woman who understood your soul before you even spoke. She's a human being with her own trauma, her own habits that drive you insane, her own needs you don't know how to meet. And you panic. You think the magic died. You think she changed. You think you made a mistake. Let me show you exactly how this plays out. 7 patterns. Every single one will feel familiar. She's operating in eros, connection, feeling, relationship, being understood. You are operating in logos, solutions, action, fixing, moving forward. She says, I just need you to listen. You hear, there's a problem, fix it. Every conversation becomes a war because you're speaking completely different languages and neither of you knows it. Your anima pulled you toward the exact woman your conscious mind would never choose. You love her for the same reasons you can't stand her. The chemistry is undeniable, but the foundation is built on contradiction, and contradiction eventually collapses. You need her to be predictable so you can manage what's happening inside you. She needs you to be present so she can feel safe. Neither of you can give the other what they need because neither of you has done the internal work to have it yourselves.
When a man hasn't met his anima consciously, she takes over. He becomes moody, emotionally manipulative, passive-aggressive, needy in ways he can't even articulate. He's not present. He's being puppeteered. Same thing flipped. A woman possessed by an unintegrated animus becomes relentlessly critical, impossible to satisfy, aggressive in ways that feel foreign even to her. She's not being herself. She's being driven by an inner figure she's never met. Your anima doesn't just project onto her. It actively attracts her shadow, the parts of herself she's buried, the anger she won't admit, the fear she denies. And your unintegrated darkness mirrors hers perfectly. You're not just projecting, you're magnetically pulling the most wounded version of each other to the surface. This isn't chemistry. It's mutual psychological sabotage dressed up as love. You leave. You find someone new. You swear this time is different. And 18 months later, you're lying in the same bed, staring at the same ceiling, asking the same question. Different person, same ghost, same crash, same wound. Now, we need to talk about something nobody wants to say out loud. Men and women are not operating from the same psychological reality. Not because one is better, not because of politics or gender debates or anything on the surface, because of actual modes of consciousness that are almost impossible to reconcile without both people doing serious inner work. Logos and eros, structure and flow, action and feeling. And here's what makes it brutal. Neither mode is wrong. But when they collide in a relationship where neither person has integrated their opposite, he's not trying to shut her down. He genuinely doesn't know how to be with her pain without trying to eliminate it. She's not trying to be irrational. She genuinely needs to be felt before she can be helped. But without the inner work, without him developing his anima and her developing her animus, they will keep speaking past each other until one of them stops trying. So how do you actually get out of this? First, you stop trying to fix the relationship and start meeting yourself. You meet your anima consciously, not in fantasy, not in the next woman, in reality. You sit with her image. You dialogue with her. You ask her what she's been trying to tell you for years. What you'll find is that she's been starving. Starving for your emotional honesty, for your vulnerability, for your willingness to actually feel something instead of solving it or escaping it. So you give it to her, internally. You build your own emotional depth. You develop your own sensitivity. You stop outsourcing your wholeness to every woman you fall for. And when you actually do that work, for women, the same work, different direction. You meet your animus consciously. You stop waiting for a man to provide the direction, the strength, the decisiveness you've been craving. You develop it inside yourself, not to become masculine, to become whole. And when two people who've done this work meet each other, something different happens, something quieter than passion, something that doesn't crash at 18 months. Real presence, real seeing. You look at her and you don't see the ghost anymore. You see the human being, flawed, complicated, real. And she sees you the same way. Here's the part I won't sugarcoat. Most people won't do this work. They'll watch this, feel something shift for a second, maybe send it to someone they're fighting with, and then go right back to projecting. Right back to choosing comfort over consciousness. Right back to the same loop, wearing a different face. That's their choice, and it's valid. This work is hard. It's uncomfortable. It requires you to look at yourself in a way that most people spend their entire lives avoiding. But you have to decide something. Because easy keeps giving you the same crash. Real gives you something you've never actually had. A relationship that's built on two whole people instead of two half people looking for completion in each other. If you're done being run by a ghost,
If you're ready to actually see the person in front of you without the projection in the way. If you want to stop repeating the same relationship with different people, subscribe. Not for content, for confrontation. Because next, we're going into the shadow. The part of you that sabotages every relationship from the inside. The part that chose her for reasons your conscious mind still refuses to admit. Stay with it. The real work is just beginning.